SwayamPrabha. Digital India. Educated India.
So, friends, we are talking about facility design, facility layout, and we said that it is very important that facility should be properly laid out. That will improve the efficiency of the system, and also it will reduce the hazards, it will improve the supervision and the better utilization of the space. We further studied that there are several types of applications are there of this facility design. Rather, every facility need layout planning, whether it is office space, whether it is a warehouse, whether it is our retail malls, banks, hospitals, hotels, and in manufacturing also every factory, every manufacturing facility need to be properly laid out. Layout means we have to arrange the facilities, we have to decide the location of these facilities, various departments with respect to each other. So, the basic input required for layout planning is: one, we should know what is my objective. Objective is higher productivity, higher efficiency, better supervision, more comfort to the users, and also we have to another input is how many departments I am having, what type of how much volumes are going to be produced or how many people are going to visit. Based on that, I will decide how much space to be kept. And third important information which is required is about the relationship between the departments. For working out the interaction or relationship between the departments, we have several types of tools available by which we can present the data, we can analyze the data. It can be in the form of flow matrix, where we say how much flow is there between department A and B, between department A and C, similarly between department D and E, and so on. So, that is the flow matrix. Second is we should also know what is the flow cost metric. How much is the cost of movement from A to B? If 1 unit of flow for 1 kg of material flow or 1 unit of material flow or 1 person moving from department A to B, how much is the distance, how much is the cost involved in that, depending upon the size of the material, depending upon the nature of material handling requirements and that. So, we should also know the flow cost metrics also, how much is the cost involved in terms of time, in terms of money, in terms of discomfort between the two departments. We can also represent the data with the help of relationship diagram also, that we also see that relationship diagram, we find out the relation between the two departments in the form of, as I said earlier, 5 symbols which are A, E, I, O, U and X. These are vowels and then X. So, we will explain that also, we will see their applications also. This is the flow matrix, very simple table, where we say that from assembly to paint shop there is a 50 units of flow. There may be 50 trolleys or 50 components or trips of the material handling system from assembly to painting area. Similarly, from or it can be painting to assembly or assembly to painting. Similarly, from machine shop to assembly area there are 100 movements. From assembly to receiving area there is no movement, assembly to shipping there is no movement, assembly to testing there are 20 such movements are there. Similarly, from painting to machine shop there are 30 movements, painting to receiving there are certain movements, and shipping also there are certain movements. Similarly, machine shop to various departments. So, it is a more pairs. In pairs we can see that how much is the movement from one department to another, how much is the flow between the two departments. It can be from A to B plus B to A. We can use this kind of a relationship diagram also, where I said that we use these symbols. A means absolutely necessary, E is especially important, C is important, O is ordinary okay, ordinary closeness is okay, U stands for unimportant and X stands for non desirable. And usually we give +4 score if the two departments are close to either, we give a score of +4. For E, we give a score of +3. For I, we give a score of +2. For O, we give a score of +1. For unimportant, we give a score of 0. For not desirable, we may give a very high negative score. It can be to the tune of -4 also. So, in this manner, if we see how much closeness is required for the CEO office with the chief marketing officer, the relationship of O type, ordinary closeness is required between chief executive and chief marketing officer. Whereas, if we find the relationship between secretary and the CEO, very high relationship, absolute closeness is required between the CEO and his or her secretary, absolute closeness is required. So, they should be very close to each other. Similarly, we can see that there is a high closeness is required between secretary and the sales area, between central file area and the secretary, we are finding lot of closeness is required. Similarly, there are certain symbols for E also. Let us see this cell, how to read this cell. So, the closeness required between design area and computer services is of essential nature. So, because the designers are working on the computers also, it is essentially important that design area should be close to the computer services. So, like this we can read this table in this particular manner, and we can draw also. It is more a pair comparison. We are comparing 1 with 2, 1 with 3, 1 with 4, 1 with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and so on. And similarly, here we are comparing 2 with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and like this. So, we can draw the pair comparison matrix in that manner, but we are using these 6 symbols. It is very easy to remember also. The 5 vowels have been used, A, E, I, O, U, and then X is used, which are not required to be close to each other. So, this manner we can go for it. Let us see now the heuristic techniques which we can apply for the purpose of layout planning. First technique which we are going to study is the blocking diagram. Then we will also talk about software techniques, that is CRAFT, CoreLab and LDAP. CRAFT stands for computerized reallocation of facilities techniques. CoreLab stands for computerized relationship layout planning. LDAP stands for automated layout design program. Block diagram is useful if there are very less number of 5-6 facilities are there, which we can manually design by using the relationship diagram or flow matrix. Let us start with block diagramming. In the block diagramming, we can visualize the amount of movement that occurs between the departments. Each block represents one department of a facility. Blocks can be moved around in order to minimize the distance travelled between them. So, suppose for the sake of example, if we say that a particular facility has 6 departments and this is the area requirement. Facility 1 require a area of 1000 square feet, facility 2 require a area of 950, facility 3 require 750, 4 require 1200, 5 require 800, 6 require 700 and 5400 is the total space required for this facility. And this is the information about the movement. From 1 to 2 there are 20 trips are there, from 1 to 4 there are 20 trips are there, from 1 to 6 there are 80 trips, or it is 1 to 6 or 6 to 1, both 1 to 6 plus 6 to 1. So, 80 trips are from 1 to 6 as well as 6 to 1. So, both are together are 80 trips. Similarly, between 3 and 6 there are 90 trips are there, 6 to 3 or 3 to 6, and 4 to 5 there are 70 trips, and where there is a blank, that means there is no movement between these cells. Okay. Now, we will convert this information into a arrow diagram. So, these are the blue color are the 6 departments, and then with the help of the dotted line we are showing the flow between 2 and 3 10 trips, 2 and 3 3 and 2. Similarly, 3 and 6 there are 90 trips, just we have seen that. Between 1 and 2 there are 20 trips, between 1 and 6 there are 80 trips and so on. So, this information is the information of the previous diagram. This table, a flow matrix has been converted into a block diagram. Now, what we can do is we can rearrange this facilities, like we are finding 3 and 2 should be 3 and 6 should be close to each other. So, in the next diagram we will draw 3 and 6 close to each other. So, that similarly, we are finding there is no movement between 1 and 5. So, 1 and 5 can be kept and 3 and 1 can be kept away from each other, and then we will find that where we are having more movement between 4 and 5. Between 4 and 5 again we are finding there is a good amount of movement between 2 and 5 and 4 and 5, and so this can be arranged. So, we can develop a new arrangement where we are finding 3 and 6 are kept close to each other because of their high movement, 1 and 6 kept close to each other because of their high movement, 4 and 5 has been kept close to each other because of their high movement, and 2 and 5 has been kept here because of its high movement. Others are not important. So, they can be as per the data it can come. We may question that why 3 and 4 are close to, we are not planning for it, that is just coming by default. We are more concerned about where there are high flows are there, they should be close to each other. Now, we can convert it into a block. So, the same flow diagram is converted into a block. Just give the area requirements of that, or first we convert them into a square blocks, and then later on we can give according to we can the department which require more area, we can convert into more area, and which require less area, we can reduce the size of that department, and accordingly we can adjust that. So, it is a very simple technique where which we can visualize also how the things are happening, but only limitation of this technique is when there are very less number of departments are there, then it is easy to conceptualize and you can do it manually also. But if the number of departments are more, then this it may not be possible for a human mind to do it manually. Then we need softwares. If there are 15-20 departments and such is the situation, then it is not possible to follow this particular technique. Now, coming to the second technique, that is a CoreLab, that is a computerized relationship layout planning. There are two types of softwares are there, two types of algorithms are there, heuristics are there. One is called construction type, another is called improvement type. In the construction type, from the relationship diagram we construct the layout, whereas in the improvement type we have to feed one layout maybe at random, and then it will automatically rearrange these departments and compare with the previous one. If the it is better than the previous one, it will retain that, then it will generate more alternatives and keep on improving. Whereas in the construction type, it use the heuristic to construct a good layout in the first stage itself. So, input for a CoreLab is the relationship diagram and the number and area requirements of the department. So, these are the two inputs which are required for the CoreLab to design the layout with the help of CoreLab heuristic. So, as I said earlier, repetition, we will use the symbol A, E, I, O, U and X. Let me give you one example here to better conceptualize this technique. Let us say we are having simplicity sake only 6 departments, department 1, department 2, department 3, department 4, department 5 and 5 departments are there. How to draw the relationship diagram also, that you will understand. Put a dot somewhere here and join it here, and similarly join this particular node also, then draw the parallel lines, and similarly draw the parallel line in this direction also. So, that becomes your template for pair comparison. Now, compare what should be the closeness between 1 and 2. Let us say it is absolutely essential to keep them close to each other. Between 1 and 3, let us say this is U unconnected, and between 1 and 4, let us say this is ordinary closeness is okay, 1 to 5 it is important to kept close to each other. 2 to 3, let us say this is important, this is ordinary closeness is okay, this is I. 3 to 4, let us say this is they should not be close to each other, and it is absolutely necessary to keep 3 and 5 close to each other, and 4 and 5 also there is a essentially they should be close to each other. So, this is how we can draw the diagram. Now, let us calculate the total closeness rating of the various departments with the help of this relationship diagram, which is called REL diagram. This is called REL diagram. Okay. Now, let us calculate the total closeness rating of department 1. This is equal to score of A plus score of U plus score of O plus score of I. A is having a score of 4. So, 4 plus U has a score of 0 plus O has a score of 1 plus I has a score of 2. So, this has a closeness rating of department 1 is 7. Similarly, the total closeness rating of department 2 we will go like this: A I O I, A plus I plus O plus I. Going by this, A means 4 points, I means 2 points, O means 1 point and I means 2 point. So, total 9 points. Okay. Similarly, total closeness rating of department 3 will read like this: U, I, X and A, U plus I plus X plus A. So, U is 0, I is 2, X is minus 4 plus A is 4. So, the total closeness rating of this is 2. Then similarly, I can find out the total closeness rating of 4. For 4, it is O X, O plus X plus E. So, the score for this is 1 plus minus 4 plus E means 3. So, the score is 1. And then for TCR for 5, department 5. So, it is simple I, A and E. I plus A plus E. So, score is 2 plus 4 plus 3, 11. Okay. So, like this we have determined the total closeness rating required for various departments. Now, what we have to do, the department which is having the highest score, that is department 5, we call it this as a victor, and we place it at the center of the grid, center of the layout. Let us place the department 5. Then we see that which department need to be close to department 5. 3 need to be very close to department 5. So, locate the department 3 close to this. Okay. Now, we will see that any department which require closeness with the 3, not much. For 5, there is a E also with 4. So, let me put 4 also. Let me put 4 also close to this. I can put on this side also. This is the initial blocking I am doing it. And then there is a department which is having a I between 2 and 3. There is a relationship of I between 2 and 5 also I. So, I can generate department 2 here. So, which has a close requirement with 3 as well as with 5. So, similarly, 1 require a closeness with 2. So, I can place 1 here also, because it require to be close to this. But we also have to keep in mind that 4 and 3 should not be close to each other. So, we are able to avoid that also. 4 and 3 are not close to each other, they are on the two sides of the building. So, like this. So, this is how we can do the layout planning, and later on, depending upon the size of these departments, we can readjust it their size, and we can do the according to the space we can do that. But that is the basic concept behind this core lab layout planning. It is a computerized technique of and you can have right now we have done this exercise with 5 departments only, but in real situation there may be 50 departments, there may be 20 departments, or there may be any number of departments. So, with this we can calculate, we can draw the layout planning for this. Now, coming to the second technique, the third technique rather, first we have done the blocking then we did the core lab. The third technique, that is LDAP. LDAP stands for Automated Layout Design Program, and this is also a construction type, and it uses the proximity charts, the closeness of each other. In the core lab, we attempt to construct one best layout. By LDAP construct many layouts and rate each layout, and thus leaves the final decision of selecting the appropriate layout to the facility designer. In the case of core lab, we develop only one layout, and that is the best as per the given data and requirement, whereas LDAP generate large number of layouts. We will see in the next slide the procedure behind LDAP, and then it gives you one or two best, and according to your choice you can pick the one. But advantage is you can have any shape of department, whether it is rectangular or square shapes can be adjusted in this. Let us see the procedure, very simple procedure. It says that you randomly select the first department, whereas in case of core lab we have selected a department which is having the highest total closeness rating, but LDAP is more a random software, random arrangements are there in this, randomly we select the department. Then out of those departments which have a relationship with the first department, we have selected, let us say first department we have selected E, sorry, let us say first department which we have selected is, the first department we have selected is department 4. Now, we say that we find out the department which having a relationship with the first one, that is E type or A type, or if there is no A relation, then we look for the E or I. Let us say department 7 has a E relationship with it. So, we will put the 7 here. Okay. And if there is no such department exists which is having A, I or E relationship, we can select any department at random and put it close to 4. And then we repeat the same step, we find any department having a E or I relationship with 7. Let us say we find a department 11 which is having a relationship with this, another is then we find out any department which is having a relationship with the 11, and then we can put it here, and this is how we keep on constructing the one by one. We can 11 has a good relationship with 2 also. So, like this, so we can construct that, and in that way we may get one layout of this nature. And then again, because the first department is selected randomly, in the next case maybe you are selecting as department number 3 at random, and then again repeat the same steps, and you may get another layout of 5, 9, 2, 6, something like that. You will get another layout of this type. Okay. And this way it will generate large number of layouts, and it will also give you, it will calculate the center point of these departments, and depending upon the movement, depending upon the traffic between the two departments, it will calculate the total movement between the department, total movement between the departments. Okay. So, then it will calculate the, this is let us say layout 1 which has been generated, let us say total movement of this comes out to be 700. Then it will generate the 2. If the movement of this is 650, then it will delete this and save only this one. If this is more than 700, then it will delete this one and store the above one, and then it will generate another layout. Let us say another layout has a score of 710, then it will delete this, again work out another layout. Let us say that layout has a score of 610, then it will delete this and keep this in store, and in that way it will keep on generating the layout till such time not able to find any better, and at the end it will give you a layout which has a minimum material movement between the departments. So, it is a more a random kind of a thing, simulated kind of a thing, where we keep on searching the best layout with in a random manner without applying any logic behind it. Whereas, in the core lab we have a logic of total closeness rating, and based on that we place the departments. There is a third technique also, very useful technique, that is called CRAFT, computerized reallocation of facilities technique. This is an improvement type. So, and it use the flow cost data, LDEP also use the flow cost data, as I have said. So, in this case we give one initial layout to the software, maybe we give this is the layout of the this, and then it will calculate what is the total flow cost data. Let us say total flow cost is, in this is, let us say again same example, let us say 500 units. Total flow cost is distance multiplied by number of trips and cost per trip. The cost per trip multiplied by the number of trips between the two departments, and all combinations are taken together. Now, it will rearrange these departments, and maybe in this manner, maybe it say 1, 4, and then it will give 3 here, and then 5 here, 2 here something, and it will again calculate the total flow cost of this particular layout. If this turns out to be lesser than this, then it will retain this and delete the previous one. So, in that way it will keep on improving till such time you find that there is no further improvement is possible. So, it is more like a LDEP kind of a thing. In LDEP, departments are taken at random way, and every time new layout is generated, and in this case we do the interchange of the two departments and see that what is the impact of that, and on the total flow cost. Interchange the two departments and keep on doing that till we find a layout which is very efficient layout. So, switching heuristic to improve the current layout. For the current layout, the heuristic computes the center point of each workstation. As I said, it will calculate the center point for each workstation and distance between them or cost between them. It can be cost, it can be distance, and the total flow between them. It can be in the form of Dij, it can be the cost also Cij between the two departments, and the total flow between the two departments. And then for each pair of workstations, switch the location of the work center, recompute the Dij variables and total flow cost, and continue to switch location till further cost reduction is not possible. So, the difference between, you see the difference between CRAFT and LDEP, though the in case of CRAFT we do the pair changes between the existing layout, whereas in LDEP it randomly select the departments with the help of a heuristic. In this case it interchange the two departments and keep on doing till we get the till there is not further possibility of cost reduction. Let us see some more ideas about layout. This is more a visual kind of a thing. You can keep this as a thumb rule when you are doing the workstation layout planning specially. This is the current layout, let us say, where two workers are performing the task, and they are having three tables, 3 activities to be done. So, each worker is doing activity 1, 2, 3, and again it go back and start next job there and keep on doing like this. So, all 3 things are within his reach. So, that way it is ergonomically designed workstation for him. Similarly, this fellow, he is having 3 activities to be performed, he is performing that by this may be a place for the component which is there and he is assembling it, or it can be some other fabrication task or anything. Now, if you want to increase the production of this, may not be possible, or you have to add one more worker here, you may have to add one more worker here only, and then only you can increase the production. Whereas, in this case if you are putting the layout in this manner, this fellow is working on these 3, this fellow is working on these 3, but tomorrow if you want to increase the production rate, rather than 2 person, we can put 1 person who is doing this activity, there is another person who is doing these two activity and this person. So, without adding the facilities, only by adding the manpower, I can increase the production rate if the layout is of this nature. Whereas, in this case you have to put additional facilities also, additional table and workstation also to increase the production rate. And tomorrow if there may be reduction in the demand also, requirement also, in a GIT kind of environment, maybe one worker is doing all the 6 activities also. This is a small example where we have taken only 2 workers, but such kind of workstation can be there where there are more number of workers are required depending upon the production rate. So, worker in small closed area need another set of equipment to enhance the output. You need another set of equipment if you want to enhance the output. Whereas, in the improved layout, workers can be increased or decreased depending upon the required production rate. We can increase the persons or decrease the manpower to increase or decrease the production rate. As I have said that I can add a person or I can reduce the manpower if I have to increase the production rate or if I have to decrease the production rate. Take one more example. This is a linear straight line layout where one worker is working on element 1 and 2, another is working on 3 and 4, and this is slightly displaced, and maybe this is working, we can keep it this person here, and he is doing 5 and 6 and this is doing 7 and 8 activities, okay, like this. Now, in this case if there is a reduction in the work press, more movement is required. Whereas, if we make it a U line, this person working here, he can attend to this job as well as this workstation also, or he can work on more number of workstation without much movement. In this case, if I want to give him 4 jobs, then he has to move a lot. Whereas, in this case, if I want to give him 4 jobs, the movement is very less. On the sitting only, he will attend to the more number of workstation or more number of processes he can perform. And same way he can I can give divide 4 jobs can be given to this worker and 4 jobs can be given to 4 tasks can be given to another operator depending upon the production rate requirement. So, it has more flexibility. By providing the skilling to the worker, I can increase or decrease the production rate. Second important advantage of this layout is the material is on one side. Here you are having input material on this side and finished products on this side. That means, if this is the factory and maybe your material gate is here, that means material has to move all the way to this place, then it has to come here and then go out from the factory. If it is like this and my factory gate is here, so material can come here and go and then again go out. So, very less material movement is there, whereas in this case we have said that if the same position is there, so material has to come here and then from here it will go out. So, more material movement is there if that in raw material side and finished good sides are at the 2 corners of the plant, whereas in this case both are at the same side of the plant. If you see the 2-wheeler manufacturing plant which I showed you in my initial introduction, I said this is my press shop, weld shop and then paint shop, and then this was my assembly area and this was my dispatch area. So, both material input as well as dispatch are on the same side, and here I showed you the material gate. And similarly, we draw the warehouse also here, and so that all the material movement on the one side of the factory and trucks etcetera are not moving throughout the factory so they are only confined to one side of the factory. So, that is the advantage. We can take these small tips in doing our layout planning also. This is softwares are also available by which we can visualize, we can see in 3D how my factory is going to be look like. There are a lot of design softwares are available by which you can develop, you can change, you can do the color changes also, color combinations etcetera also, and then you can aesthetically improve also. So, that can be softwares are there. As I said, we are talking about user experience also. If you are designing the retail outlet or retail store, So, you can look at that how it is going to look like. Here we have seen the assembly line of cars, and you will find that conveyors etcetera and overhead carriages are there to this thing movement etcetera. So, everything we can plan, and we can see that how it is going to be maintained, various and how it is going to the material movement, supervision purpose. So, we can do all such things, we can visualize before putting the things in place, we can very easily visualize the things with that. So, that the workers and the supervision etcetera can be done very easily. When I talk about the user experience, you might have seen just the website also. When we open a particular website of a company or an institute, you will find there also it is a question of layout. How you are putting the various information, how you are putting home, academics, admissions or something, products, processes or alumni or industry interaction, how you are putting, and then maybe a photo gallery or something which is required to be you want to highlight certain current events etcetera. So, this is also very important in web designing also. We can use the principles of layout planning, so that the impact of the web is your website is very high, and also it is not crammed also. You are able to reach from one plate to another in a very easily manner with the help of hyperlinks etcetera. How to design that, that is also very important area in the, this is also in a way layout planning, how you are planning your web page, or it can be a designing of a poster, advertisement poster, or any such thing. We can apply the principles of user experience, how he is going to work. People have done in the case of ergonomics, it comes in ergonomic studies also, when they studied the eye movement also. When you open a page on a computer screen, which particular portion of the screen is first seen by your eye. So, with the help of gadgets etcetera, lot of research has been done. So, that the most important information can be kept at that corner of the computer screen on the web page. So, this is how this particular kind of layout planning is useful in the software designs also, and as well as in web designing also. And let us see an example of a hyper retail store. These days we are having so many malls etcetera. What are the concepts they are using in the layout planning? One is the open invitation. You will find all the malls and stores etcetera, they are having wide and open entrance gates, or it is a very open kind of a gate, so that they are giving a welcoming kind of a sign. Whereas, if it is a totally closed and opaque kind of a wooden door is there or steel door is there, then people may not be able to see, may not get attracted to that. So, either a glass door or without door openings are you will find in most of the malls and hyper retail stores. And there is a display which you can see from the outside and which can attract you, so that you get a temptation to go inside the retail store. So, that is the first thing. Your layout planning should invite the customers, though they have come in the mall for some other purpose or for eating point or something, but you are welcoming them, or maybe within the mall there may be particular brand or store is there. Mall consists of so many brands and others. So, your gate and other things should be, though he is not interested in garment, he came from some other item, but your store and other thing arrangement is such that he is attracted to that. Then tendency to look right, most of the people look straight. So, you put the most catchy is your deal of the day at a place where the first sight is going there, so that people get attracted to that. So, look right when entering in a supermarket is used to display special offers. You can put the special offers where you find that person is going to look first when he is entering into the your outlet, or any promotional item which you are having, so that he get attracted to that. Once he is inside, then he will purchase, he or she will purchase many more items also. Then there is a dwell zone where means you can keep groceries and snack foods which are normally people are taking in large quantities and everyone is coming for purchasing those items. So, that can be kept in a very comfortable position. Then you create the power aisles also when the person is traveling from one side to another. And then near the aisles you can keep some items which are having the strong offers. So that though he is not interested, but while walking in the aisle he can see those items and may get attracted to purchase those items. So this is how the layout planning helps in improving your sales, and again I will use the same term, that is the user experience. They will feel happy that they are able to see so many new things also, may not purchase, may purchase next time, but at least first impression you have created for that. Then you have to keep many now malls etc. have the food courts also. Sorry, here the item is where you are food items, where you are purchasing them as a kit together. Like if you are purchasing tea bags or tea packet, you are purchasing the sugar also along with that, maybe milk pouch also along with that, or there may be baby items also where you are purchasing 3-4 baby items together, and so they can be located at one place. So even if the person has come to purchase one item, he will see that, oh, these items are also available, and he will just scan how much stock is available at his home. So he will purchase more of that also along with, though he came to purchase one item, he may purchase 3-4 other items of a similar which are required by the child or by gents items or ladies items or some other items which are purchased together. Or essential item may be located at the back end, where you find that person is going to be there. So you locate it at the back end, so that while going at the back end, he will be having the opportunity to see the new offerings. If you put these items which are essential at the front of the gate, he will purchase from that and go out. He will not get the opportunity, or you will not get the opportunity to showcasing your other items, other deals, other promotional things which you are having. So you will not be able to show that. So that is another important aspect you have to keep in mind. Then there is a stock rotation also. If particular customer is coming every time and going to a particular shelf, purchasing it and coming back, again you are missing the opportunity of showing him other items and other promotional things. But if you keep on rotating that, but you have to keep in mind, it should not be irritating to the customer. You do it in a very smart manner and give some direction and signboards also, that he feel happy to visit a new. Everybody want a change. So if you provide him a change, though the same item, same thing, or maybe a different way of stocking also, if you provide that kind of a thing, he will feel very happy, because you are providing a new experience to him rather than the same boring routine. Now he feel the new experience in just by relocating the or rotation of the items in that small area itself give a better feeling to the customer. So these are some of the concepts which can be used in retail stores, malls, super malls and hyper retail stores. And for the planning, again the same kind of factors we have to kept in mind. One is the space, floor utilization, vertical transports and other things. Maybe one type of item you will find that all your garment people are at same floor, your shoes etc. or other accessories are at one floor, and maybe other items which are require cosmetics etc. at one floor, groceries etc. which are heavy items or like that, maybe at the ground floor like that, and food courts are generally at the top floor like this. So you can take use the best possible way of locating that, so that one is space utilization is good and the convenience of the customer is also kept in mind. Then you have to see that customer footfall is there, what is the pattern during the day, week and month, and then accordingly you can give the exposure to your offerings in designing the retails. Then sporting service is very important. Many time the good parking space, free parking space attract the consumers, and you will find more footfall. Washroom, neat and clean washroom, properly located food courts etc. as I said. And then product items bought together at one place you can keep, heavy items at the ground floor. routing, unidirectional flow, promotional item near the aisle and commodities requiring more space can be away from the aisle. And obviously, you have to keep the balancing of the, you cannot be over dominating one aspect, then it will maybe user will find that you are cheating or you are not giving him a good you are not caring for him. So, we have to keep the balance of this, we have to do it in a very smart manner to show him the schemes etcetera and rotations etcetera, we have to do in a very smart manner. So, it is about art and science, layout planning for a rather for all services, whether it is airport, hospitals, retail stores etcetera, it is both science and art. That is why now we are having design programs which helps in designing these facilities etcetera. So, that it is you are using the science principle, but as along with that you are using your artistic sense also. So, now design layout planning it is becoming more a art plus science. Earlier used to be softwares only, now with the help of along with the software you have to apply your marketing skill, artistic skills and understanding the human behavior also apply, and then you are doing the layout planning of the stores. So, it is not only the functional requirement, you have to keep the aesthetics and the user experience also in mind. So, friends, now in subsequent to this, so we started with the location of the plant facility, then various departments within the facility. Now, at the next level, we are going to talk about the particular individual workstation. That also is a location and layout problem. On a officer table where I should keep the incoming files, where I should keep the outgoing files, or in a assembly workstation where I should keep the various components and parts, so that it is easy to retrieve and assemble, and after assembling how to drop that into the bin. So, that can be next level of the layout planning, where we are talking about the individual workstation. That particular aspect we will cover in our work studies section. We will say that how to design an individual workstation, so that a person is able to work without fatigue. Similarly, on a machine equipment also, where to locate the various controls, various drives etcetera, while working on a lathe machine, where to keep the various tools and lever, handles etcetera, and material handling etcetera, how to keep. So, that is also part of a layout problem. Similarly, you will find in our cars, two wheelers etcetera, various controls, various pedals, gear, they have been located in such a manner that you are comfortably able to drive. And another is the cockpit of the aircraft is a best example of a layout planning. Several controls, several instruments are located in a very small area, and all three dimensions are used, front, back, side, and top also is also used for the purpose of monitoring as well as for the purpose of the control of the aircraft. Similarly, another important example, good example is your operations theatre, where a team of persons are working in that operation theatre, doctors, paramedical staff, nurses etcetera are working, and you are working in a very sensitive activity, and there is no scope of any error also in cockpit also, there is no scope of any error. So, there you have to, without talking much, and you are completing the process, and the difference between aircraft cockpit and operation theatre is, in air cockpit it is the same process you are repeating every day, whereas in the operation theatre your job is keep on changing, every patient is a different patient. So, there you have to keep your all your instruments etcetera and all other gadgets etcetera, whether it is all other which are required for the purpose of it can be radiology things, X-rays or some other parameter measuring machines etcetera, whether it is a blood pressure or some other parameter, heart rate etcetera, which you are monitoring. So, you have to keep in mind that and you have to plan in such a manner that each and every tool, equipment, process are only in a vicinity, you cannot move and fetch that, it has to be kept in the vicinity, and then maybe you are having a portable trays etc., which has been kept one after another on the table in front of the doctor. So, like this it is also a very interesting area to design the operation theatre and various other facilities within that. So, in that manner you will find that many more such kind of situations are there, which where layout planning plays a very important role. So, we will study that also. And more important is the purpose of this particular exercise or this particular facility planning lecture is to sensitize you that layout is very important in improving the productivity, in improving the safety, in improving the better supervision of a particular place. And in case of services, it because the customer is part and parcel of the conversion process, transformation process, his user experience is also very important in services. So, we have to keep that even you look at the railway coach, you will find there also things are so nicely arranged that there is a place for keeping the luggage, there is a place for keeping the bottle, you will find there is a place for a tray, and again it will depend, if it is a overnight train then sleepers etc. is there, if it is a daytime journey is there only, then the chair car arrangements are there, and they have been arranged in such a manner that maximum number of passengers are adjusted in a given space without discomfort. And that is also a part of the layout planning of railway coach, plan in such a manner that people are able to travel comfortably in that. And also you will find metro coach, where the requirement of metro coach is different from a rail coach, though both are mode for transport only, but obviously no luggage etc. is there in a metro coach. So, the design need more standing space there and less sitting space there because of short distances which are going to be travelled. So, based on that you design the metro coach, which has a different requirement, objectives are different as compared to the railway coach. And you keep on adding more examples, it is your imagination, and I have given you the example of web design also, website design, web design also. That is also very important design exercise, layout planning exercise, where to keep the various sets of information, how to arrange the various sets of information on a given page, and how this page by page information can be passed on to the user. So, these are some of the layout exercises, applications which are you may think of. Similarly, in our recreational points also, if you go to recreational places, whether it is a design of a museum, you will find there is a special aspect in museums also. You will find it can be sometimes it is arranged in a chronological manner, the way various events occurred, according to that the various floors or various galleries has been arranged. Many times galleries has been arranged based on the functions, like in one gallery you are having various dresses, in another gallery you are having weapons etc. also, if it is a fort or something, or another gallery has some other civilized life, how people were living in that place, like that. And in some other museums you will find it has been arranged in some different manner, but you will find some aspects of layout planning has been applied in the museum. And then you will find the flow, when you are viewing the various galleries, you will find the aisles has been arranged in such a manner that there is a unidirectional flow, you enter from one side and you exit from the other side, and you will find entry and exit are generally very close to each other, so that near to the parking or near to the main gate. So, these are some of the aspects you will find in museums also, or it can be in the parks etc. also. You will find that various types of facilities are arranged in the gardens and parks etc. also. Similarly, you will find in the catering also, it is again a question of layout, how you are placing the various food items. It can be arranged according to the first course, second course and main course and last course, or it can be arranged according to the Chinese, Mughlai and some other way. You can arrange the various dishes, and then you have to provide a space for sitting, you have to provide a space for socialization, and there may be a place for stage performance, there may be a space for snacks, etc. So, you have to plan the venue management, venue planning, layout planning is also an important aspect which can take the principles of layout planning while doing. And as I said, it is both scientific principles as well as the aesthetic principles we have to apply in these layout plannings. So, imagination is the only thing. Each and every place is a candidate for layout planning, and with the help of these principles, with the help of the various softwares and visualization softwares, we can plan these facilities, so that it provides a better utilization of space, it is more safe in nature, and it provides a good user experience. So, with this we close this unit of layout planning, and in the next we will have a second aspect of facility design. As I said, layout planning is more important for batch production and job shop production, batch production and job shop production, whereas another aspect of facility design, if we talk about facility design, for batch production and job production, the right thing is to do is layout planning. So, you will find all service center system which I had talked about, they are all more job shop kind of a thing, where each individual has a separate requirements. So, that is why this layout are very important. There is another, that is for mass production. Our for a mass production system, layout planning is not a big challenge. In the facility design, layout planning is not a big challenge, because you are arranging the facilities according to the requirement of the product. The most important thing here, which we are going to take it as a next unit, is the line balancing. So, line balancing is very important. If the line is not balanced, you will find the utilization of the equipment is not proper, and it may lead to several interpersonal issues also. If one worker has a full load, another worker has 1/3 load, it will create personal relation problems also. So, next unit we are going to talk about line balancing, which is also part of the facility design. So, facility design has two aspects, one is the layout planning and second is the line balancing. So, depending upon the type of production system, we have to see whether layout planning is required more, or it has the case of line balancing. So, with this we close this today's lecture here. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to this piece of literary snippet. We usually know William Shakespeare as the most revered figure in the history of English literature. But we often tend to forget that he has also been one of the most hated figures in literature. And here I am not talking only about those boys and girls who have to memorize long sections from Macbeth or King Lear or Julius Caesar before they can go and sit for their school or college exams. But I am also talking about people who are themselves quite famous authors. Tolstoy, for instance, considered the writings of Shakespeare to be, and I quote, crude, immoral, vulgar and senseless. George Bernard Shaw absolutely loathed Shakespeare, as he did Homer. But perhaps no other criticism about Shakespeare is more damaging than the one which says that Shakespeare is a marvelous storyteller, provided someone has told him the story earlier. Now, this piece of criticism is particularly damaging because it is true. None of Shakespeare's plays contain any original story whatsoever. They are all written using pre-existing materials, pre-existing stories. Now, does that diminish the stature of Shakespeare as a dramatist? Well, I'll leave that for you to decide. See you in the next episode of Literary Snippets.